ain't tryna see your hand up. No free bees, better pay up. Y'all so cheap. I ain't tryna see your hand up. No free bees, better pay up. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay up. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. We left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. We left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the product in store. I'm playing, I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse. Yeah, you just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you not gonna shoot. I'm watching you do the campaign, swear I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth. Yeah, they be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching pulls every stanza like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off. Yeah, it's a matter of time. I know you see me standing in the front, back of the line. I happen to grind every minute, passing the time. We ain't never been friends. How you acting like mine? Y'all need contentment. Y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions that make me question how you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to steward a blessing. You can't do it. You don't want a dream chase. You don't put your hands to it. You know the circle strong. 4th and 40 got a pun. No, I don't do what I want. I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing. I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the juggler, mate. The one to debate, but you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid. Yeah, I've been working on a gift. I ain't doing free shows. You can call me here again. You can call me what you want. It's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I am worth.
I ain't tryna see your hand up. No free bees, better pay up. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay up. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. We left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. We left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
Hey yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace. You gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted, and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience under pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really nah, I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition, they ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing you. We swinging for the fences, with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat. I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk how you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie. You don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start. I don't wanna speak, talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the P's, you gon' see the...
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. What is going on, Mafia? I see y'all going nuts in chat as Bitcoin is kind of pumping a little bit, then dumping a little bit, kind of just playing around at these levels of resistance that we were looking at yesterday. And the big question is, are we going to get a pullback from here, or are we going to get that sneak pump to the upside to some of those key levels that we were also looking at yesterday? Now, as you guys know, we are getting some clear mixed signals on the chart, if that makes sense. There are clear signals calling for downside and clear signals calling for one more potential push to the upside. So we did look at these yesterday, guys, but I want to take one more look at both of these kind of bearish and bullish cases and try to figure out what we are more likely to see coming up here in the near future. Hopefully something happens by tomorrow, or we may just wind up ranging around and getting that really, really boring Bitcoin price action that we all hate. But we're going to be taking a look at both those bullish and bearish cases today, guys. I want to show you guys both those signals that we're looking at. Actually, there's more like 3 or 4 of them. Most of them actually on the bearish side. However, the bullish signal is on a pretty high time frame, so it gives us a little bit more weight. So we're going to break it all down, guys. I'm going to let you know what I'm thinking, where I think price is likely to go in the near future, and we're going to kind of talk about that surprise pump, and if we are going to get it, where are we likely to come up? And if we get up there, what are we doing? Are we holding our longs? Are we taking profit? Are we looking for shorts? We're gonna fill you guys in on that all in today's live stream. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get to spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure, where you guys will all have multiple chances to win some free crypto, and maybe even a free month of the Discord, or even maybe some free Frankie Candles hats. But before we jump into it, guys, smash that like button. We're going for 550 likes on tonight's live stream. And shout out to Crypto Pollo. I see you in the chat, bro. Guys, just had a nice lunch with Crypto Pollo and Tony D. He was in town. He was like, hey, let's get some lunch. And I was like, hey, I got some time. Let's do it. We got to hang out with Crypto Pollo. Great seeing you, bro. Yeah, shout out to that Fire Steakhouse buffet thing that we went to. That was pretty good. But shout out to Crypto Pollo, guys. But before we jump into the price action, guys, let's go ahead and shout out chat and see who we got in here today. First off, guys, I don't know what that was. First off, guys, shout out to Golden for gifting those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. You might not notice that he gifted them because he did it in the waiting room, which is absolutely legendary. Literally just dropping memberships for the Mafia. So shout out to Golden. Thank you, bro, for all the support. And I know the Mafia loves you for giving those free memberships. But let's go ahead and see who else we got in here other than Golden, although Golden does steal the show very often with those memberships, I will say. So shout out to Golden. But we got Flat Smack in the house. Speaking of Flat Smack that like button, guys. Shout out to Ziva Crypto Girl. What is going on? Thank you for being here. We got Peppy Chulo, not Poppy Chulo, but is it Poppy Chulo? Oh no, I'm sorry. It is Poppy Chulo. Shout out to Poppy Chulo. What is going on? Said let's see. Good idea to short 36K question mark. We will talk about that in just a second. We got Darren Does Things. As always, good to see you in here, bro. Thank you for all the help you give us in that premium Discord. Shout out Multi-Sig Dummy. Shout out to Multi-Sig Dummy. We got Hannah King, our Candle Mafia princess, in the house. What is going on, Hannah? Thank you for being here. And let's get a couple more out of the way. We got Scott in the chat. What is going on, Scott? Everybody's spamming those golden emojis. I absolutely love it. And we do have, last but not least, we got a couple of super chats here. Shout out to Dave Digital. I appreciate that super. Shout out to Dave Digital. I appreciate that super chat, bro. He says one more pump. Potentially, bro. We're going to take a look at those potential opportunities to get that last pump to the upside. Thank you for the super chat, Dave. I appreciate you. Creighton C says, hashtag free sauce, hashtag love Dave Digital. Shout out to Dave Digital and Creighton C's love for Dave Digital. It's a friendly love, guys. We're allowed to have friendly love. Shout out to Dave Digital again with another super chat saying hashtag free sauce. Shout out to Dave. I don't really know what that means. Free sauce. Free sauce. I don't know. Dave, let me know what you're referring to in the chat. And shout out to Hannah King for those 5 Frankie Candles memberships. We appreciate you, Hannah. Thank you for giving those memberships. And I know the Mafia appreciates it as well. And that is why Hannah is the Candle Mafia princess. But guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and try to figure out what the heck this thing Bitcoin is going to do next. Because again, how do you get a membership? Shout out to Russ T. The Mafia will let you know in just a second. You got to change some settings in your YouTube settings. But guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. I do want to preface this, guys. This is probably I'm actually serious this time. This is fake indicators. Shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Always appreciated. Thank you so much. You don't have to respond to it, Siri, because it's Dave Digital, and I'm talking to him, so get out of my face. Anyway, shout out to Dave. Fake indicators. Shout out to Dave Digital. I don't know what that means, Dave. Dave, you're speaking to me in riddles, bro. Shout out to Dave. Let me know what that means in the chat. But guys, we are probably going to just do the Bitcoin TA today. I have a bunch of stuff I need to get done. As you guys know, I just recently moved, and I'm trying to wrap up those final odds and ends and get everything set. So I do have some stuff to do. So we're probably just going to do some Bitcoin TA. Maybe we'll take a look at a couple of the alts, but it is definitely going to be a short stream. I plan on this being like a 30-minute to 1-hour stream. And then, as you guys know, we'll probably wind up doing 2 hours. But I am kidding. I am probably really going to hop off early here. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on here on the Bitcoins. This is Caspa still just, and again, guys, the divs. This is why you do not want to short these bear divs. All willy-nilly. I think this is actually what we were explaining last night, was that you don't want to short these bear divs all willy-nilly with just the bearish divergences. You want to have those other confirmations, especially in a bullish trend like we're seeing right now. But this is not Caspa TA, guys. This is Bitcoin TA. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on. Now, obviously, guys, first off, I want to cover 3 main things. I want to Shout out to Flat Smack. Yeah, just Caspa in general, definitely crazy to short right now as it is in price discovery. I believe that was what we were looking at. That was in price discovery yesterday. Kind of a dangerous place to start trying to short an altcoin is when it's trying to find a new all-time highs. And really all you have to go off of if you're looking at technicals would be those higher up Fibonacci levels, which you have to understand really the only reason those levels are respected other than just the golden, the golden ratio or whatever. It's you have other traders that are looking at those same Fibonacci levels, which is why you typically see resistance at these levels, even though price has never been there before. You have other traders looking at those exact fib levels, looking for resistance there and probably taking profits, expecting other traders to respect that fib level as well. Hang on. Shout out to Dave Digital said, check the blue bird. I tagged you twice. # sauce. Well, shout out to Dave Digital. I'm going to investigate this. This is going to eat me up trying to figure out what you're talking about for the rest of the stream. But thank you, Dave, for tagging me in that. I will definitely go check that out after the stream. But I kind of want to talk about three things here, guys. I want to talk about, number one, we'll do like a quick little macro market update. It's all remaining about the same, right? We are still looking for higher prices on Bitcoin. The question is, are we going to pull back first or shoot up towards that $37,000 level before finally getting that correction to the downside? Now, that's number one. I want to do the market update with you guys really quickly. And then number two, I want to show you guys these mixed signals and why I am being very careful with the shorts right here. Now, as you guys know, it wasn't a scalp short yesterday. I did get stopped out I did get stopped out of that trade. I believe like right on this candle here. We got stopped out, but that's okay, guys. It was a very, 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 very. It's a negligible loss. And if we continue. If we continue this, the next target will be 37K, and we will just simply reassess the situation as we get there, find our confirmations, and potentially look for another short entry. So we're going to do the market update, the mixed signals, and then I just want to cover the local price action with you guys. And then, like I said, we'll do maybe a couple of altcoins. I probably will pick them myself. I'll probably just read chat, pick them out randomly, and then we'll do those quick altcoins, and then I'm going to hop out of here. But starting off here with the general update, guys. Obviously, we are just kind of continuing to consolidate up here in this kind of ascending channel, I guess you could call it. Let me come on over to this empty chart. So yeah, you do have this like somewhat of an somewhat of an ascending channel here as we just kind of creep around, go for the highs, go for the lows, go for the highs, go for the lows, go for the highs, go for the lows. And as of right now, guys, we are potentially looking to put in some, let's focus on the macro, right? We are just continuingly consolidating here in this ascending channel, and we are basically waiting for a significant correction to the upside. These are kind of the two scenarios I am looking for, guys. I'm either personally looking for a continuation or a breakdown of this range, and then a continuation to some lower prices. We have some key levels down here towards about 32,500. We can go over those a little bit later in the stream, but we are either expecting a breakdown of this range from the current range highs, which is basically where we're sitting at right now. However, and here's the thing, right? In general, we'll do the macro analysis first, right? In general, I am still sitting on my hands, guys, waiting for higher prices, or for the most part, right? In general, when we're looking at the higher time frames, we are eventually expecting not only this 37K level to get tapped, but potentially if we can get above that level, and more importantly, above this $37,623 level at our previous value area low, we are essentially waiting for these higher prices, right? And I do think there is a chance that we can hit them based off the higher time frame money flow, such as the weekly crossing over into the green, as well as a lot of these other higher daily time frames. You can see your 6-day is also in the green now, your 4-day crossing over into the green, your 3-day finally getting that crossover into the green, which would indicate that the macro or longer term trend will continue to the upside over time. Now, with that being said, we do have the money flow crossover on the 3-day, which is a bullish sign. 2-day money flow crossover, this is also a bullish sign. However, if you come onto the 3-day, you could see we have a fresh red dot not only on the 3-day, but we also have a red dot looking to print on the 4-day. And then your 5, 6-day, and weekly VWAPs are also cooling off. What does this tell us? This tells us that we can essentially expect higher prices. We could expect higher prices in the long-term trend, right? However, with the VWAPs rolling down back towards that zero line, curving over to the downside, This is indicating that we may see a correction incoming at some point here soon. So my general sentiment is continuation to the upside. However, I am waiting to see if we are going to get some kind of a cool off here. Obviously, guys, we have basically just been screaming to the upside here, very similarly to our pop off our actual lows. We initially got a pump of about 46%, and then that next leg up gave us a pump of about 44%, and this pump that we saw right here wound up giving us a pump of about 45%. Now, pretty interesting how those are so closely correlated. However, just general sentiment is I do believe that this trend is going to continue up and we will likely hit these higher targets. However, we're not likely going to just shoot up to 50K, right? Kind of our end target here, or the most bullish scenario I'm willing to look at this moment, is going to be a ride up towards this macro value area high, which I know a lot of you guys are very familiar with. But let me actually just go ahead and hide this stuff to clear it up and make it nice and simple to look at. We are simply looking at, right? Remember the volume profiles, guys. We were looking to flip this to support, get a ride up to the POC, and now we are flipping this POC to support, which could eventually give us an open door to come up and test some of those higher targets, eventually starting that journey up to about 48 to 50K, where the top of our range is or our value area high is. And if you know anything about the volume profiles, typically you get above that value area low, go to the POC, flip the POC to support, and then you go for the high. Now, obviously, it's never in a straight line like this. You have to expect the noise in the market. It is likely more going to look like something like this maybe, and then eventually you are expecting to come tap that high. But we are still far away from this level, but that is the general kind of sentiment here. We are looking for these higher prices to get hit, potentially. Let me actually hide this level as well. Potentially getting all the way up to that value area high. However, obviously, guys, we need some kind of pullback in here, right? We got that 45, 46% pump, got a little cool off, one more push to the upside, significant cool off, another pump, a cool off, another pump, a cool off, another pump. We need to get some kind of a cool off to come in here, and I think it is likely to either happen right now or after one last move to the upside, which we're going to talk about where I'm looking for that to go in just a second, but that's the sentiment, right? We're just kind of trying to time and figure out where this pullback is going to happen before we can continue that journey up to those higher targets. Now, here is why we are potentially going to be this is why I'm being cautious with the shorts up here, right? And the reason for that is, number one, that daily green dot. We talked about this yesterday, obviously, guys, looking for that kind of surprise push to the upside. We even talked about it being like, if we are going to get that push up, I would kind of expect it to be some kind of a random pump where it's like you get notifications from Coinbase where it's like, oh, hey, Bitcoin is just flying. And then you look at your candles and you're like, oh my God, what is going on? Why are we ripping? And I do think what we were looking at yesterday, at least on the stream, was I was letting you guys know I am basically looking at this green dot on the daily to print to potentially signal the beginning of that move back to the upside. Now, here's where the mixed signals come in. The bullish case here is really that daily green dot printing. Now, on top of that, you also have your 2-day VWAP crossing over with your money flow coming up. Now, I'm sorry, it's not crossing over. Your money flow is crossing over, but your VWAP is just about to cross over that zero line, right? So that may be able to give us a green dot on the 2-day. Now, the reason I am looking for this to potentially give us that surprise move up, and the reason why I'm being careful with the shorts is not only because of the green dot on the daily, it's not only because of the 2-day VWAP coming up and the money flow crossover, as well as the money flow crossovers on the higher time frames, but it is also because if we wind up, well, this isn't why I think we're going to pump, but if we do pump, I'm not really that worried, right? Like I said, I got stopped out of that small short position that we were in yesterday, or I was in yesterday. But if we get that push to the upside, let me pull up those those next targets that we were looking at right above us, sitting right here at about $37,650. And then obviously we have that 37K psychological level sitting right here. We could even go ahead and label this psych. But If we get that push to the upside, this is what I'm looking for, guys. If we can push up here, I do think not only is this 37K level likely to give us a reaction, but we now know that if we get up there and we do not get a reaction, or we start banging our head and we start to yeet above it, we have backup resistance here, right? Like, this purple box is very, very, very confluent, right? We have a monthly naked point of control sitting here. We have the previous value area low of that range that we pulled from back here in January of 2022. Amongst other things, we have a golden pocket in this level as well. This is a very, very strong level of resistance, at least in my opinion. Now, that doesn't guarantee that we're going to get a huge reaction to the downside when we get there, but knowing that we have this psychological 37K level, which is likely to give us a reaction, and then knowing even if we push up a little above this, we have more backup on the bear side, right? Those bears are sitting up there at that resistance level, just ready to back up that 37K psychological level. So I do think that if we get that push up on the daily, guys, we could push up into that naked, I believe this is a naked point of control as well, or there is one at about $36,998, basically at 37K. But if we come up here and we don't get a reaction, or we're able to push above this, I am going to be looking for resistance within this purple box, because inside this purple box is very, very strong resistance, guys, or at least it's very confluent, being with the golden pocket, the previous value area low, the monthly naked point of control, as well as the point of control from this area of consolidation. You could see it right here. So that's what I'm looking for, right? If we get this pop up, which we now do have that green dot on the daily, which could potentially confirm in about 56 minutes, that is the next zone that I am looking at to potentially come up and look for shorts. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably already see it, but if we do push up here, guys, this momentum wave could be set up to give us a nice lower high on our daily momentum waves, which, in my opinion, would be a bit stronger of a level to look for a short. And I want to be very clear here. Another main reason why I'm being very careful with the shorts right now, guys, is simply because we are clearly in a bullish trend, right? So even when I'm looking for these shorts, I'm not necessarily looking. They would likely be more of a swing short or a swing type trade where I will be holding it over a longer period of time. However, I'm not really looking for these to ride down to zero, right? I'm simply just looking for a short to scalp it, to put in a higher low, and potentially get another push above these levels to go for, again, that previous value area high, which is coming in at about 48 to 50K. Obviously, we have some other levels above us that we'll have to get past, but that's basically what I'm looking for, guys. We push up into this next key level of resistance, and again, this daily VWAP, or this daily momentum wave, may be able to give us a nice bearish divergence on a high time frame such as the daily, and that would be just a little bit more of a clear signal for a more strong short position, right? Now, you guys might think to yourself, okay, so what's the mixed signal, right? Why wouldn't we just wait for the pump up and then look for the short when we get up to the next key levels? Well, the reason is, guys, it is definitely not impossible to come down from here. And this is why it's a little bit tricky right now, because as you guys know, yesterday we were looking at this on the stream, and we do have confirmed bearish divergences on the 16-hour, the 12-hour, as well as the 4-hour. They are confirmed, right? Now, this doesn't mean we can't break these highs, but these are often pretty strong signals that there is a significant high has been put in, right? Now, obviously, we are testing this level pretty clearly right now, but these big bearish divergences on the higher time frames can mark significant highs and indicate that a pullback may be incoming. But here's the thing, right? We printed those bear divs, and they gave us a little bit of a pullback back down to the POC, but we just turned the POC into support and started pushing back up. So kind of what I would be looking for at this point, guys, is, obviously, like I said, I got stopped out of my short here, and yes, I lost. I got stopped out. I told you guys I get stopped out sometimes. I think the last time we got stopped out live, but yeah, the trade we were talking about yesterday, that scalp short that I was in, did get stopped out. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that, I just want to, shout out to Crypto Billy, said show Jess, let's go. I think there's a lot of people out there that are just like, oh my God, I would have probably thought this if I watched, if I had watched a lot of YouTubers and I was a beginner trader, I would probably think oh, these guys probably never lose trades, right? These are the professionals. These guys never lose. That is not the case, guys. I lose trades, and yesterday was a perfect example. I got stopped out. I lost $100, right? Which is negligible in the grand scheme of my account, right? Everybody's at a different part in their trading career. To some people, $100 is a lot. To some people's accounts, it's nothing, right? That is a very, very, very small stop loss for me. So no big deal. We're up over 3 grand on one of the longs. We're up almost 1,000 on the other long, and then we took a $100 loss. So you guys can imagine how many of these losses that I could take from getting stopped out before it really starts eating into the profits I'm making. I want to be clear about that, right? You have I think the long is up about like, it's either like three grand or like $3,500, and then the other long is up, I think, almost 1,000, about $900. So, and then you get stopped out for $100, right? Now, I do accept getting stopped out for more than $100, but that one just happened to be a small scalp trade, right? So I just want you guys to start thinking about that. You're going to lose trades, right? So I got stopped out. I just want to be clear. I lose trades. I just lost one, right? Got stopped out, but I didn't get wrecked. I want that to be clear too. It's not like when I got stopped out, I'm like, oh, I just got wrecked on my Bitcoin short. No, I didn't get wrecked. I got stopped out at a very small loss, right? And as long as you're doing that and your losses are much smaller than your wins, you should be good, right? You should be pretty good, and you should be well on your way to growing a profitable account. So with that being said, guys, what I would be waiting for at this moment is basically, again, that daily green dot to potentially push us up. If it confirms and it does give us a big move, we're going to be looking for what I just talked about. But to kind of front run this idea and spot this, potential correction incoming before that daily green dot gives us the move and gives us the correction, we could come down to something like the 10-hour, the 12-hour, and the 16-hour, which are now printing more bearish divergences. Now, the one thing I will say is I would be careful, because if you zoom in on Market Cypher B here, guys, look at that money flow coming straight back up. And remember, the trend is bullish right now. You don't want to be fighting against all the bears at every single pump, right? You have to assess the situation and find the highest probability trade. You do not want to be just trying to short every pump in a bullish trend. What you want to do is wait for the corrections, wait for the higher lows, and then get in on the correct side of the market. If price is continuously making higher lows and higher highs, why would you not get on the winning side of the trades, right? So if you're in a big bullish trend like we are right now, making higher high after higher low after higher high after higher low after higher high, why would you just be like trying to short the pump only to, go in a drawdown and then be in profit for a little bit and then get wrecked? And then you try to short this, it comes down a little bit. Everyone's expecting it to go to zero, so you hold on. And then what happens? You pump back up, break the structure, put in another higher high, and you get stopped out again or wrecked again, right? But what you want to be doing in a strong trend like this, guys, is let it pump. If you miss the pump, let it pump, and then let it pull back, wait for the higher low, and then get into the longs. You want to be, the trend is your friend until the end. And right now, the trend is clearly bullish. So just like basic trading, like psychology, right? Like, or trading fundamentals, right? The trend is your friend until the end, and don't forget that. So with that being said, I will be watching this 12 and 16 hour, right? These are the mixed signals. The green dot on the daily is the bullish signal, and then the bearish signal would be these potential 16 and 12-hour bearish divergences looking to print here as soon as that VWAP crosses over that zero line. And what we have here, guys, is higher highs, right? In higher highs, we have resistance up here. I don't have the levels put out right now, but we have the higher highs on price action, our lower highs on our momentum waves, and the only thing that is really not in perfect agreement here, the reason why, again, I'm being careful, is because it's not like we have money flow just completely curving out here. If money flow was clearly trending down here, I would feel much more confident on loading up on a big short, right? But we're simply not seeing that, right? We have money flow actually fighting in the opposite direction. Money flow is actually coming straight up here on the 12-hour. So basically, that's why between the money flow coming up on the 12-hour and the 16-hour and that daily green dot, I'm stopped out of my short. I'm not instantly re-entering it, right? I am sitting on my hands now. I'm like, hey, if this green dot pumps us, I'll let it ride up. We'll hit those next key levels of resistance. And if we do come up to these levels, right, and we put in more higher highs, not only on the daily, but obviously if you put the higher highs in on the daily and this momentum wave comes up and puts in a lower high, you would have those bearish divergences on the daily time frame, right? And that would be a stronger signal to short. But not only that, guys, you would also have this on the 16-hour and the 12-hour. Now, kind of hard to say. Will this momentum wave break this previous high? I don't know. We'd have to wait until we get up there. But even if you don't get the 12 and 16-hour bear div, if you get the daily bear div, likely you're going to chill out a little bit at that point, especially if you come into one of these key levels that we have up here. Now, on top of that, guys, if we come back over here and we take a look at the last times we had bearish divergences as we were coming up into key resistance, you could see, right, we had key resistance up here. This was a previous macro value area high. And if you pull your range back to what we were looking at the time, you could see we were deviating outside of our value area. I actually think, do I have this other, let me see, do I have that other range? Where are we? I think I have that other range here somewhere. Bear with me, guys. Right here, right? So not only were we deviating above our actual value area that we were originally trading in, but we came up into this other previous value area, put in those higher highs on price action, right? And this is a very similar, this is what this is reminding me of, right? Because we got a giant pump here, right? Let me grab the ruler tool. Right, we have a giant pump from the high to the low. That was a 28% pump, right, into a key level of resistance. You get your higher highs. You come down to the daily. You have your lower highs on your momentum waves. And here's the thing, right? You had one daily bear div right here into that same key level of resistance. And did you go to zero? No, right? You didn't. But you put that daily bear div in, and what happened? You get a sizable correction to the downside to the tune of about let's see, to the tune of about 5%, right? So not a dump down to zero, but you did get that correction. This is why I'm saying if we do put higher highs into these key levels, get those bear divs, it is going to be likely to, at least, if you get the bear div, obviously, it is likely that you're going to get some kind of a correction, right? Not necessarily a 40% dump, but maybe even something as small as a 5% correction, right? Just very high likelihood of getting some kind of reaction there. But as you can see, you get the first daily bear div, boom, you come down a little bit. But then what happens, right? You come back up, and, a lot of people were probably holding their shorts down here, not understanding that they were testing that previous value area high of support. And then, boom, they got maybe stopped out, or they just went back to break even. And they were just, they were praying that it was going back down. I don't know. But you come back into that key level of resistance, putting in another drive of bearish divergence. So you put another higher high in here and another lower high on your momentum waves. And then finally, that was the actual drive of divergence that wound up breaking you down big time, sending you all the way back down to the value area low, which, by the way, was a trade setup in our premium Discord, looking towards this exact lower level being your value area low, getting closer to about $25,000 or $25,500. So kind of a similar situation, right, where we got a big move up. Obviously, if we measure this move, I mean, we're not going to measure it from the complete bottom, but I'll just measure it from here, right? We will go ahead and grab that. There we go. And yeah, we got about almost a 28% pump, guys. It's almost the exact same amount of the same percentage pump. Now I want to be clear here, guys. I'm not saying just because that happened that we're definitely going to see that happen here, but you could see how similar this is, right? We get the 28% pump, right? And then maybe we put in a daily bear div locally, we get a little pullback, and then we get another big pump into maybe 40K, put another drive of bearish divergence in, and then maybe that's where we break down at, right? And it's not our job to figure out exactly where we're coming down. Obviously, this helps, but we are just finding the highest probability levels to get a reaction off of, and you're taking your shot with good risk management and following the looking at the confirmations, getting multiple confirmations to enter into the trade, and if you get to that key level and you're finding these levels correctly and you find the right confirmations, you have a high probability trade. And if you wind up coming down a little bit, you take profit, move your stop loss to your break even level, and maybe you make a little bit of money on the trade when you get stopped out and we go for another higher high, you simply look for more confirmations at your next key level, and eventually you're going to catch that big move down, right? So maybe you got into a trade here on this daily bear div and you brought it down to the value area low, you took partial profits, moved your stop loss to break even, and then you get stopped out for a small loss. And then you look for another, you see the next drive of bearish divergence on the daily, you go for another shot, and then what happens? You wind up getting the actual move that you're looking for. So with that being said, guys, that is kind of what I'm looking at, right? Just looking for that potential. If we do get that next push up, I will be looking for that look for this daily bearish divergence, and then that next drive of the 12-hour and 16-hour bearish divergence as well. And then if we come down to some of the lower time frames, guys, we could be putting in those divergences on the 8-hour, right? Same thing, higher highs on your price action, which we are potentially going to print somewhat soon here with the lower highs on our momentum waves. But again, with that daily green dot now printing, guys, I am being very careful of this next little potential surprise pump to the upside. No guarantees that we get it. And kind of what we can do here, guys, I don't know if we're going to do this. I don't know if I'm going to do this right now, but If you went to something like Coinalyze, actually, if you guys, shout out to the mods. If the mods want to share my how to find a short squeeze video, if you guys after the stream want to go check out that video, learn how to spot a short squeeze, and then go over to Coinalyze, which by the way is 100% free. I have no affiliation whatsoever. It's just a free service that I like to use. That you can spot short squeezes on, right? And you could learn how to spot the short squeezes, and then, we can look here. Are we starting to get a short squeeze? What are the traders doing within this range? Are the leverage traders all short? Are they all long? What is the spot market doing? Are more people selling and taking profits, or are more people buying? We can use this information to then spot short squeezes or even long squeezes in the market to spot these surprise pumps to the upside. Surprise, if you don't know what to look for, right? We saw this happen back here, back in March, where we were kind of, bullishly consolidating here, but we actually wound up putting in a bunch of bearish divergences and money flow was coming out. This was a very confusing time, but we wound up using Coinalyze to look at the future CVD and the spot CVD, and we were able to spot a discrepancy, letting us know that a short squeeze was very, very, very likely, and we actually spotted it like the day before it happened. I put it in the premium Discord and was letting them know, like, hey guys, looks like we have a pretty nasty short squeeze building here. We were very confused. The charts were very foggy. And then finally, Coinalyze was able to give us that insight into the market, showing us that short squeeze, and we were able to, number one, take advantage of a long position, and number two, avoid getting into a horrible short position where we were actually looking for shorts at this level of resistance. It didn't mean that we were stupid for looking for shorts here, but we would have gotten wrecked, but not wrecked, but you would have gotten stopped out easily here, right? You would have gone short here, wrote it down, and then you would have not instantly, but you would have gotten stopped the heck out right there, right? And we were able to avoid that by spotting the short squeeze on Coinalyze. So if you guys check out that video, you guys can go learn about that and potentially see if we have a short squeeze building right here. Which again, if you could spot that short squeeze, it would give you that thought, like, hey, probably even more likely that we're going to get that push up first. Thank you, Tony D. I appreciate you, bro. I assume that is the video. If you guys want to go check that out, you can learn about the short squeezes and try to assess the situation here. Like I said, I'm going to make this a quicker, this is going to be a quicker live stream, so I don't want to go into the whole short squeeze thing right now. We have other important stuff to look at, but definitely go check out that video. So anyway, that's what we're looking at, guys. Simply put, waiting for that daily green dot, seeing what it's doing for us. If we wind up getting more bearish confirmations, maybe we put in another drive of 4-hour bearish divergence. Maybe I'll take another stab at a shot here. But other than that, unless I get severe confirmations up here to go short, I will be sitting on my hands, waiting to come up to higher prices to look for another trade. So there you guys go. Let's go ahead, and before we go ahead and take a look at some of the altcoins, I want to come on over to the lower time frames and kind of assess the situation and see what we got going on. Now, if we come on over to the 4-hour, as you can see, we still have, although money flow has come back up slightly, we do still somewhat have a little bit of a bleed out on our money flow, right? Money flow is still trending to the downside, and generally speaking, your momentum waves are also trending to the downside. This is letting us know that not only is money leaving the asset, but also the momentum is coming down. It's directional, right? Momentum's coming out, money flow's coming out. What do we usually see after that? We usually get some kind of a move to the downside. So again, this is not an easy game to play, guys, because it's like, a lot of new people will come in and be like, so I don't get it. Are we bullish or are we bearish? And the answer is simply not that easy. And that's just the hard fact of this game, right? The true answer is, are we bearish or are we bullish? I'm leaning towards looking for a bigger move down. But the caveat is we could get a nice little spike to the upside first. You just need to know what to look for. And as soon as you can, or the sooner that you can perfect your art or your skill of technical analysis, and the more time you spend practicing and back testing and watching the market move and studying the charts, the more you'll understand the way the market behaves, especially Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin behaves differently than Forex. Forex behaves differently than oil. Everything moves different. Stocks move different than crypto. Crypto's extra volatile. Bitcoin specifically is extremely manipulated, right? So you have to understand, Bitcoin loves liquidity grabs on the wicks, right? Specifically, it's not usually the same story. Well, it's a similar story with something like Forex or stocks, but Bitcoin specifically loves the wicks, guys. Bitcoin is heavily manipulated. It's also extremely volatile, way more volatile than most stocks are. These are things you have to take into account, and a lot of this stuff is only something you can gain through experience, right? Like sometimes you just got to stare at the charts for long enough to witness all this stuff happen and learn over time and get into 100 bad trades and learn from them, and then win 100 good trades and learn from them, and then take what worked and leave what didn't. And it takes time. It's a skill that you need to build. So it's never as easy as just bearish or bullish. You have to understand. Jay says, shout out to Jay. Jay says money's going to the alts, right? You have to think about that too. You want to remember. Typically, when Bitcoin consolidates, this is when you see the altcoins go ballistic. And that's basically what we saw, right? You get the big pump up, you start consolidating, all of a sudden, bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, 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 bong, bong, right? The alts just start going absolutely ballistic. And that's oftentimes what happens. People will take profits on their Bitcoin. Bitcoin will consolidate or correct a little bit. The altcoins start to soar. And then when the altcoins start to cool off, money sometimes goes back into Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin gets another leg up. But locally speaking here, guys, we could wind up potentially, this is about to get invalidated, this local bear div right here. But even if we continue up, shout out to Dave Digital said 100 bad shades. Check. Shout out to Dave Digital, bro. I'm hitting you with the bing bong, bro. Shout out to Dave Digital, bro. You're a legend, man. Looking here, if we do wind up putting in that, another higher high, whether we put it in here or higher, an early warning sign of a correction. The only reason that I would not be expecting those extra higher prices is if I really started getting aggressive bearish divergences here on the 4 hour with your lower highs on your momentum wave. Your money flow would really have to start aggressively coming out and then putting in more drives of bearish divergence. So not a horrible place, in my opinion, to be looking for a short. But you got to be careful, right? Because that short could play out a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boop, you get that squeeze to the upside to those higher levels up to about 37K. So there you go. But locally speaking, guys, we are outside of our value area. Here, which is oftentimes where you want to look for those short positions to ride them back down to the POC and potentially the value area low. However, here's the thing. We have put in a pretty nice higher low here right on your value area high, right? You got the breakout, bullish retest of the value area high, nice little higher low. You could continue to the upside here. I'm being very careful with the shorts. So there you go. Lower time frames, money flow still generally coming out on the 4 hour. Your 2 hour could be putting in a nice bearish divergence as well for some potential scalps with your higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. So you are, but look at your money flow here, right? Like all those confirmations are really not here right now. So really hard to say here, guys. Like, I am definitely expecting some kind of a significant correction to come in at some point soon. The real question is, are we going to shoot up to those next targets? And again, the way we trade is we get into the trades, right? We trade the ranges, and if you get the breakout, great. Our longs will be doing good. And I already got stopped out of my short, right? So yesterday, I think I even said, guys, what's going to happen if we get that random pump on that daily green dot? If it prints overnight and we get a big pump, cool. I'll get stopped out at a small loss, and we look for the short at the higher levels, and I am simply sticking to that plan. Other than that, it's short-term scalps, like very, very little losses, getting stopped out of those. But other than that, I am simply just trading this range, as I always do, looking for longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, right? So even if we did take a short here, if you were able to find your confirmations to go short here, I would just be very careful. Here, guys, because, again, you want to remember, the chance that we could shoot up out of here is there. So even if we get into a short and you come down a little bit, I would aggressively be taking profits and managing the risk on that. I think if you got into a short here, just because you come back into the range doesn't guarantee that you're going to continue all the way down. You could come down, tap the POC, and then break out to those higher levels. So right now, I'm sitting out of my short. I did not re-enter. And right now, I'm just kind of letting things play out, waiting for clearer signals to either go short here, ride it down to the value area low, which would kind of be the max level I'd be looking at least as of right now. And if we don't wind up getting those confirmations, I'm sitting on my hands, waiting for those higher prices, getting closer to about $37,000. So there you guys go. That is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Not really too much has changed since yesterday. We basically just bing-bonged around here within the range. We deviated a little bit. But other than that, like the big news here, or the big thing we want to focus on right now, is this daily green dot. Is this going to be able to push us up to 37K? And if it does, my longs will be super, super happy. But guys, shout out to Tyler Durden. Let me know that we got a whole lot of super chats. So let me go ahead and pull up our super chats, and let me go ahead and read them. Thank you all for those super chats. You guys are the absolute best. I do Appreciate you guys very, very, very much. But let's see. So Dave Diddle said, fake indicators, check the blue bird. I tagged you twice. Don't be mad. Yo, shout out to Dave. You just out here with the super chats, bro. Shout out to Dave Digital. You're a legend, bro. But thank you so much for the super chats, bro. I'm definitely gonna check out what you tagged me in. I'm sure Tony probably already did it. It's probably already in my text messages. Be like, oh, dude, this is what Dave was talking about. But anyway, shout out to you, Dave. I really do appreciate you. And shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat. He says, facts, Dave. Dave is under my protection. Shout out to Creighton C. We got Creighton C, the protector of the Mafia. I love it. He said, that should help, Dave. If people can't take a joke, they shouldn't be throwing stones at a glass house. I don't know what's going on in chat, but hey, shout out to Dave Digital, shout out to Creighton C. I love you guys, and I will protect you guys as well. So shout out to Creighton C and Dave Digital, and shout out to Weeds? I don't know. Shout out to you, though, bro. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I do appreciate you. He said, yo, I'm riding that BTC long from 26.8 with you. Yeah, thinking about taking a little profits at 39K. Got to stop around 28. But want to let it ride through the bull market. What you thinking? Shout out to Golden Eye. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. Well, M. Weeds, hopefully I'm not butchering that name. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. It is never, ever in a million years a bad idea to take profits, right? And I know it seems glorious to ride your trades into the bull market. And here's the thing, right? Shout out, what did you say you were long from? 26.8. Let's go, bro. So if you are long down from 26.8, which is right around here, original entry for me, which maybe is the same for M. Wade's, it was 25.2. Then I accidentally added to the position at 28. I think now my entry is like 26.8. But if you are in this, right, you have to understand it's not impossible to come all the way back down here to 25K. I want to be very clear about that. I am very bullish, right? I do think we could see higher prices. I do think we could see 39K. However, you want to remember, it is not impossible, right? Everybody thinks that you, like, I remember back here, and I actually say this kind of like sarcastically, like I don't actually remember this, but I could guarantee you that once we broke 20, let's see, what did we pump up to here? Yeah, like once we broke 25K, I could guarantee you guys, the second we broke 25K, which was like right up here at these wicks, people were saying, that's it, we're never seeing 25K again, we're never going to see below 20K ever again, and what happened? We wicked all the way back down to 19.4. Right? And so here's the reason I say that, brother, is it's never a bad time to take profit. You don't, and I don't know if this is what you're doing. It might not be, but I just want to say this. Don't go for the trade that is going to make you rich. You are extremely unlikely to make life-changing money, or you're unlikely to get rich just holding that one trade. And here's why I say this, right? Because just like a lot of people probably thought we were never going to see below 20K when we got up to 25, right? And then we wicked down, we dumped down to about 19.5. We could wind up dumping back down to the bottom of this range, right, that we were previously trading in at 25K. And if that did happen, you have to think, right? If that did happen and you wound up correcting and you wound up getting a big correction just right back down to the bottom of the range, you're probably going to be pretty upset that you didn't take any profits. I don't know if you did take profits already. Maybe you want to just take a little bit more. So for me, as someone who's trying to help other people make money, I have to say, take profit when you can. If you don't pay yourself in the green, you're only going to think, you're only going to wish you took profit when you're back in the red. Right? I can't tell you how many trades I've been in, and I'm just like, oh, man, I'm way in the green now. This thing's never going back down. And then you wake up one day and you're in the red, and you're like, no, go back. I got to go back to tomorrow. I should have taken profits, right? And you don't want to be in that position. Trust me, I've been in the position 1,000 times. And it's not a good position to be in. Sorry, guys, I'm battling this chair. It just keeps sinking on me. M-Wides, I would probably say, like, probably not a bad idea to even take profits here, right? This is what I'll tell you. I took a little more profit on my short, on my long, on this little pump up. I just shaved a little extra off. I didn't close the whole thing. I just took a little bit extra profits in case we do come down from here, right? I do think it's not unlikely to pump up to 37K, right? But it's also not impossible to come down from here. And if you're already in the green, why not take the money when it's on the table? Not financial advice, but hopefully we're able to take, get something out of that. So there you go. And then your stop loss around 28K, I can't really hate on that stop loss, right? Because reason being is because we know that there are multiple key levels between about 28.8 and 28.6, right? So if you come all the way back down to 27K, you are shout out to you, bro. You're paying attention in the streams, I could tell, because you know once you get below 28K, not only are you losing your previous value area low, but you're also getting accepted back into your old range, which could potentially bring you back down to that 25K level. So kind of hard. I can't tell you what to do with your money, brother, but if you know. Take this for what it's worth. I took a little more profit on my longs, and if we continue to pump up, I'll just take more profit, right? I'm not going to be pissed off that I shaved a little extra money off the long if we come up here, because I will make more money, and I'll just shave more up here, right? And then maybe we'll get the correction from there. But I wouldn't get caught up trying to hold the trade for the rest of the bull market. I actually mentioned this to Tony D today. I was like, dude, I think that long from 25.2 might just be in for good. But here's the thing. I would be holding that trade more as a novelty, right? Because I've already taken tons of profit on this trade. So it's not like, you know, I'm already well in profit, right? I think I got like $2,500 locked in. I'm up another 1,000. So, you know, I've already taken a lot out of the trade. So take that for what it's worth. I don't want to harp on this too much, but shout out to M Waits. Thank you for the super chat, bro. So I'm riding. I did take a little bit more off the table though, so just take that for what it's worth. Taking partial profits is never a bad idea in my opinion. Dave Digital said 100 bad trades. Check. Shout out to Dave Digital. That's how you do it, bro. But guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead. I want to take a look at a couple of the altcoins, and then we're going to jump on out of here. Like I said, we are going to end a little bit early tonight. Wayne C says, I love puppies. Shout out to shout out to Wayne C. Let's go. Do I ever use trailing stop losses? Elionics, great question. Not really. No, not often. I do everything manual, man. Like, I'll be honest, like 90% of the trades I take are market orders, which is, you know, you pay more fees and all that, but just the way I trade, it makes more sense for me to enter in on a market order than a limit order, right? Because let's say I'm trading a swing failure pattern, right? I need the confirmation of the swing failure, right? You have those key levels that you're looking at for your swing failure to happen at, but if you don't get the actual swing failure candlestick pattern, you're not going to take the trade. So if you set your limit order and it gets triggered while you're sleeping and there is no swing failure pattern and the confirmation doesn't happen, you're likely going to get wrecked on that trade or stopped out on that trade, right? So I usually market order. I will limit order in specific situations. If I'm laddering into a position, they're usually lower leverage positions. I'll ladder into those. But for like my day trades and stuff, I'm in and out. I'm marketing in and out. But let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Darren Dusting says limit and watch. Yeah, so I shout out to Darren. Thank you for saying that, bro. Oftentimes what I'll also do is I'll set a limit order, and then I'll set an alert on that limit order. And usually you'll get notified anyway that your order was filled. But I will set a trading view alert as well. That way I'm getting multiple notifications as the levels hit. And then you're in the trade, so you lose the risk of missing the trade. But as long as you can check your chart, while you get those notifications, you can watch the chart and see if you're going to get the confirmations. And like Darren just said, if you don't get the confirmations, you get out, right? So that's another good way to do it. So shout out to Darren Dustings. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Okay. Yeah, shout out to you. Thank you, M. Wade. Said no financial advice was given here. Absolutely correct. Because I am not a financial advisor. Exactly. How could I give financial advice if I'm not a financial advisor, right? That's why I don't do it. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. Yo, shout out to Chad Oliver. Said Frankie the GOAT. Bah! Sorry, guys. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the altcoins, guys. We're going to do these nice and quick. Woo, baby. I want to check out XRP. Here we go. So XRP, obviously, we did get that pump. We front ran this golden pocket just slightly. Shout out to Creighton C. Said, Frankie, what is better, a 4% win or a 335% win? Just curious. Well, Creighton, this sounds like a trick question. Yo, shout out to Crypto Billy. I feel like this is a trick question, but I will say, I mean, obviously it depends, right? Are you in a 330% gain on a $1 100x trade? Or it obviously depends on your position size, your leverage, etc. But hey, let's not lie. The 335% is going to look a lot better on that P&L screenshot. No, so I'm going with 335. I don't care if you only made $6. If it's 335%, that's all that matters, right? I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, I'm going to go with 335%. Shout out to Creighton. Let's go. All right, let's continue on. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Says blah is better. Blah! Let's go. That's what they sound like, guys. That's a goat. That is a real goat sound. I'm telling you. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here. So obviously XRP did run up for this golden pocket, sitting at about 74 cents. But we did front run it, and we are actually now getting a little bit of a push to the downside. So this is, again, what did we do here, right? Like, what actually happened? We wound up breaking out of our area of balance or our volume profile right here. We came up, hit our head on that previous value area low as we expected, and then we broke through it and got our move almost up to that golden pocket. But as of right now, guys, we have been accepted back into our macro range, which, just for anybody who's new here, is between 62, almost 63 cents, all the way up to $1.29. And as long as we can remain inside, or as long as we remain above this value area low, this is going to continue to keep the door open to potentially run up towards our POC coming in at 83 cents and potentially allowing us to flip that to support and eventually getting up to that $1.29 level. So until we wind up breaking down below this value area low, I am going to be looking for price to eventually work its way up to that POC, which also I want to point out is in perfect confluence with the 786 of this same Fibonacci pull from the high all the way to the low. So again, like, if we are going to reject, where are you going to expect those rejections to happen? Likely going to happen at the golden pocket, also likely to happen at the 786, which is also in confluence with the POC. So, key level of support is going to be here at about 63 cents. If we can continue to hold 63 cents, I will be expecting to respect this range and continue working up towards that POC. As soon as we start losing the value area low, this is where you're in a little bit of danger, because we know that there is not a lot of volume between these two profiles, this profile and this profile. There is not a lot of volume in this gap, meaning that price will likely travel very quickly through it. That's why we got a quick move up. That's why we got a quick move down right here, right? So if we get stuck below this value area low, we may be in store for a quick move back down to the previous value area high, which is coming in close to about 55 cents. So definitely going to be keeping an eye on these levels. And as far as the indicators, red dot on your daily is printing. Your 2-day red dot is looking to print. 3 and 4 day VWAPs also rolling over. They're also a bit overbought here. Taking a look at the 10-hour VWAP rolling back up. Take a look at the 5 and 4 hour. Yeah, I would be cautious here, guys. I would be cautious because of that daily red dot. See what this gives us. Is it going to pull us back down to the value area low? If so, this would probably be one of the first levels I'd be willing to look for another long position. Your golden pocket is sitting just below that value area low, and if we pull it up to this last impulse before that big move through the volume profile, you can see that our 786 golden pocket is sitting right in the middle of that value area low. So if we do come down and we continue down, this is the area there where I would be potentially looking for a long position, right? To potentially target this golden pocket and the 786 point of control. So there you go. That is what I'd be looking at on XRP, being very careful of that daily red dot for some more potential downside. Taking a look at that 4-hour kind of neutral. So yeah, that's really what I would be looking for, right? Money flow on the 90-minute is coming down. This is potentially a little bit, not worrying, but a little bit making me a little more cautious towards for some more moves to the downside, right? Potentially bringing us down to that next key level, which is this blue box between 64 and 61 cents. So there you go. That is XRP. It is hot AF in here right now, guys. Give me 1 sec. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God, just smashed my foot. Oh, God. Oh, God. We have to let's have a moment of silence for the skin on my heel, guys. Oh, God. This is probably bleeding so bad. All right. We're good, guys. We're good. All right. Let's continue on here. Shout out to John Vucci. Thank you for that super chat, bro. Let's see. The pinky toe. Shout out to Wolfman. Shout out to John Vucci. Said, looks like if we hold here, we will be in the next value area between $35,100 between $35,100 value area low, $36,740 POC, $39.90 value area high, but the value area high is also a POC from another range. And John Vucci, I couldn't have been more happy about what you just said, bro. Pulling those old POCs, looking for confluence with old value area highs. I'm okay, Mrs. Candles. The skin on my heel is hanging off, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I just hit my foot. You want to show some? Come here. Say what's up to the Mafia. Oh, you're mopping. It's okay. Come, let me. No, I just hit my foot. It's okay. What? No, I didn't spill anything. Just I might be bleeding on the floor, but yeah. Thank you for coming and checking on me. But anyway, guys, Mrs. Candles, everybody, Mrs. Candles. But yeah, shout out to John Bucci, bro. I could not like the way you were talking about that POC value area high confluence, bro. You know what you're doing, bro. I absolutely love it. Shout out to Crypto Billy. He says, cast possible, Frankie. FCU FYP hashtag Givers Gain. Shout out to Crypto Billy, me, Tony D, and Crypto. Hey, there's those hands. There's those Mrs. Candles hands. Oh God, she just screamed. I wish you guys could hear her. I just hear her in the distance. She heard me sniffing. I heard her yelling from all the way. Like, I don't even know. She's like on the. She went down the stairs, and I just hear her go, "Don't be weird." Mrs. Candles is easily embarrassed. But there's those Mrs. Candles hands. Let's go. But anyway, shout out to Akusi. Says, what is a good alternative to MEXC for low leverage fees? MEXC is not allowed in my country. Shout out to QC. Well, shout out to you, bro. I really like Femex. Femex, BingX are kind of the main exchanges I've been using recently. The one thing about BingX they're both amazing. I do use them both for different reasons. But BingX offers not only Forex, but also crypto, stocks, and commodities. So if you like trading stocks, or you like trading Forex, or you like trading gold, I believe they have gold, you can trade commodities and all that on BingX as well. Femex is another big one that I use. I mean, I show a lot of my trades I show here are specifically on Femex. We have links in the description down below if you want. They are usually offering bonus funds for Mafia members, so you can go ahead and check those deals in the description down below. And let me just use my cool thing here. Hey, there you go. Link in description, guys. But anyway, shout out to QC. Hopefully that helps you out. And shout out to M Ninja Fourth. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for getting that. Thank you for sending that super sticker. GG, baby. Let's go. But let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, fees are pretty low on BingX. Yeah, they're not bad. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on. Okay. There you go. Tony D dropping that link. But anyway, guys, that's what I'd be looking at. And I want you guys to remember here, this 90-minute money flow coming out on XRP could be, again, not alarming, but could be concerning for a move to the downside, because if you get that crossover into the red, which I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think it's going to happen at the same time as the daily red dot. But if this daily red dot, say, confirms in 16 minutes, and then we wind up getting that 90-minute money flow crossover into the red, that money flow crossover into the red could be where we wind up seeing that move down, begin. So that's what I would really be looking at. But other than that, simply looking at these key levels of support for a potential long position if we get that red dot on the daily to continue pulling us down to these key levels. So there's XRP. Let's see. Shout out to Philly Skills. Says, it's definitely past a 30-minute stream. Well, shout out to you, bro. Actually, thank you for reminding me about that. So let me go ahead and I will just check out Ethereum really, really quickly here. Coming in currently at 1895. As you guys know, we have been looking at this. We have been looking for this to go down from our value area low up to the value area high, which we just barely front ran. However, if you come on over to some of these higher medium hourly time frames, you can see we are potentially no bear div. Yeah, you have this bear div to the wicks into the value area high is confirmed. Money flow slightly coming out here. Take a look at the 1 hour. Money flow in the red. Ethereum's actually a little bit confusing right now. You have a 10-hour green dot. Your 12 and your 16-hour are looking for green dots. So I would essentially be looking for Ethereum to do the same thing as Bitcoin, to be honest with you. You have the daily bear div confirmed. But remember what we looked at on Bitcoin, guys, right? Not every daily bear div. It's all about the context of the market, right? Sometimes a daily bear div, you guys have probably heard me talk about a daily bearish divergence being like a super bearish signal and like calling for much more downside based off a daily bear div, right? But this was at a different point in the market. This was when Bitcoin was in a macro bearish trend. We are no longer in a macro bearish trend, right? And so these daily bear divs, not that they won't play out, but they are often going to play out differently than when you're in a bearish market. So if you take a look at your higher highs, again, approaching into that key level of resistance, which we did barely touch. We just front ran that value area high, but you have those higher highs on your price action with the lower highs on your momentum waves, and you have that daily bear div confirmed. But what happened here, guys? Did we get a dump down to zero? No. You just got one of these little cool-offs before pushing back to the upside. So I would be careful here. You have a confirmed bearish divergence. However, BTC popping. Oh, there she goes. Let's go. Guys, I don't know. I don't know, but they be calling me Frankie the Bull for a while now, guys. I'm not going to lie. We tell Bitcoin to go up, it goes up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. 36K. There we go. I don't know. I don't know. I'm speechless, guys. I'm speechless. I don't know. I'm not a whale, guys. I don't move the market. I swear. Sell it all. Anyway, guys, I'm actually really bad at TA, guys. So basically what I do is, I just wait for, I say, I think it's going to go up. And then I text Tony to dump a couple billion into the market and we get a little pump. So I look like I know what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just respect the pump. Shout out to Mike Vito. Let's go. But we will come back to Bitcoin, guys. I'll keep an eye on it for you. But I'm obviously just kidding, guys. I can't move the market. I don't have enough money to move the market. I'll tell you that much. But anyway, it would take a lot to move Bitcoin. Actually, does anybody know? I'm sure you could probably do the math on that. I don't know how you would do the math, but I bet you could probably figure out how much money you need to move to get the price to move X percent. It's probably a simple equation. But anyway, but taking a look at Ethereum here, guys, that daily bear div wound up just giving us a little pop to the downside. So I'd basically be looking at the same thing for Ethereum, right? Being cautious, especially with the 10-hour green dot printing, 12 and 16-hour green dots looking to print, as well as your daily red dot freshly confirmed, but this could roll back up. So I would kind of be looking at the same thing, and I would basically be looking at the same thing as I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Potential secondary push up. And remember, if we break this value area high, the next key level I will be looking at will be closer to that $2,000 level, coming in right here, really between about $2,000 and $2,030. Shout out to Dave Digital, said, week 3 of Jim Frank, you gonna be behind in January. Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. Bro. I say I'm gonna start a new gym routine twice a day, every day. So that's better than just not thinking about it, right? You know what I'm saying? Huh? Shout out to Dave Digital. I gotta catch up, bro. Are you looking swole, Dave? Are you getting swole, bro? Shout out to Dave Digital. Bro, I would love for you, like, I love when people get swole, right? Like you have a friend that started working out a lot, and like you see me, you're like, Jesus, dude, you're like a bulldog. What happened? It's really funny. But shout out to Dave Digital and shout out to Creighton C. I appreciate that super chat, bro. He said, it's okay, Frankie. You're handsome. Pretty goes a long way. Let's go. So what? I manipulate the price of Bitcoin to look like I'm good at TA. Big deal. I'm a good-looking guy. Well, at least Creighton said I am. Shout out to you, Creighton. I appreciate you. You guys are funny, man. All right, let's see. Shout out to Tony D. said, I got to start working out today. Me on my 3rd plate of the buffet. Shout out to Tony D. Hey, life's short, bro. Life's short. You guys are funny, man. Shout out to Dave Digital. Said, thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, was that a clue? Shout out to Dave. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Dave speaks in riddles. He speaks in broken riddles, and I like it. It always keeps me thinking. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I go, that's what Dave meant. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Shout out to Dave Digital. And we also got, we got another super chat. Shout out to Bitcoin Chicken, or Crypto Pollo, as you guys like to call him. Thanks for lunch, Tony D. Love the Mafia. Shout out to Tony D. Tony D treated me and Crypto Pollo to lunch today. Okay, big deal with the company. Well, actually, it wasn't the company card. I have to reimburse Tony for this. Tony, I'm kidding. Tony deserves to get double reimbursed for everything he ever does. I was going to make a joke about not reimbursing him. I deserve to get lunch bought for me. It's not true, though. It's really not true. He deserves free lunch, not me. But shout out to Crypto Pollo. Jan, I don't know what that means, Dave. Dave, you're going to break. Thank you for the super chat. You're going to break my brain, dude. Are you saying Jan as in January? Shout out to Dave Digital, bro. Shout out to you, bro. I don't know if this has something to do with what you were talking about on Twitter, maybe. I don't know. Shout out to Dave Digital. Now I want to end the stream right now to investigate what Dave is talking about. But shout out to Dave. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to M Wides. I don't know how to say your name, bro. I apologize. But shout out to you. He says thank you. No problem, bro. You don't got to thank me. I'm just doing what I love, baby. But let's continue on here, guys. Thank you for all the super chats. Dave, you're an absolute savage. Creighton, you're a savage. Golden, everybody dropping the super chats. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. But let's go ahead and check on. Yeah, everything's fine. No. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. All right, let's see. Okay, let's continue on. Tony D says, double reimbursing, like what you do anytime I try to Venmo you, literally any amount of money. Menace. Yeah, Tony D tries to pay me back for stuff, and I just send him double what he sent me. Like, if we go out to eat and I pay for the dinner and it's whatever, like say we go to like Topgolf, it's like $150. Like I'll just or whatever. He'll try to Venmo me, and whatever he Venmos me, I just double and send it back, and then I just say, go ahead, try it again. And he tries it again, and I double it again. And then like after like 5 times, I'm like, okay, but for real, like don't keep it, but like don't do this again. I don't want to wind up sending thousands of dollars. But shout out to Tony D. He literally deserves it, so it's okay. But anyway, let's continue on learning. You are awesome. You're more awesome than I am, I would say. But guys, that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum, right? If we break this until we break this value area high, I am not looking for higher prices on Ethereum. But if we could pop above this, I will be looking for a potential move up to that purple box between $2,000 and $2,030. So there you go. Simply looking for this to potentially copy what Bitcoin is doing. All right, let's go ahead and Brett Headley said, please don't break Frankie's brain before the bull run and have his brain back before the bear market. Shout out to Brett Headley. Yeah, I'm going to have to meditate. Like, once the bull run's in full effect, guys, I may have to go on, like, a 7-day hiatus just to, like, meditate in, like, a salt cave somewhere and just, like really just unwind and then come back transcended. It's like a super being. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. We took a look at XRP. We took a look at Ethereum. I saw somebody ask for AVAX. I don't remember who it was, but whoever you are, I love you dearly, so we're going to take a look at it for you. But let's go ahead and check AVAX. Let's see. Where is our actual AVAX chart that we've been looking at? Was it? No. Perpetuals? No. What were we looking at on AVAX? That's a Bitcoin pair. All right, well, we'll just start a new chart then. All right, so taking a look at AVAX. Here we go. All right, well, I'm going to pull this range right here. Bada boom, bada bing. And look at that. Oh, almost touched that PLC perfectly. Yo, shout out to Golden. Bro, you are an absolute menace, bro. Absolute menace. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships, bro. You're an absolute savage, guys. Give it up for Golden in the chat for just giving everybody those free memberships. Unbelievable, Golden. What did we do to deserve you? What did we do to deserve you, bro? Absolutely insane. Golden is the GOAT, guys. Spam those golden emojis if you love him as much as I do. Golden, I will meet you one day, bro. I will meet you one day. I need to meet you in person, bro. Absolute savage, bro. You gifted like 200 memberships the other day, and you already gifted like another 60 today, bro. What is going on, man? You're an absolute savage. I love you to death, bro. Thank you so much. Shout out Golden, everybody. Round of applause for Golden. Unbelievable. I'll be at ATL soonish. Golden, please, for the love of God, let me know. Let me know, bro. Please. I want to meet you. Please. Shout out to Golden the GOAT, guys. Shout out to Golden. But, guys, taking a look at this previous value area right here. Oh, my God, man. I can't believe Golden is literally, this show is sponsored by Golden, guys. Absolutely insane. But anyway, let's go ahead and pull this old value area, guys. You got your value area low right here. You got your POC sitting right up here and your value area high right here. So what happened was we came up, hit our head on the value area low, flipped it to support, went for the POC, and simply put, this is the range that you're playing with right now, right? So for me, what I would be looking for is, I mean, this is your key level of support. Right? You don't want to lose this previous value area low, because if you do, you know you're likely to go find a new area of balance, right? If you cannot get back above it. But I don't want you guys getting this confused with losing the I don't want you guys to get confused with losing the value area against deviating from the value area, right? Because when you deviate, this is where you look for the longs. But If you decisively cannot get back above this level, that's where you're looking for the bigger move down. If there's no bullish confirmations and you keep hitting your head and you can't get back above, that's where you look for the bigger move down. But until that, your key levels here are previous value area low at 1245, your previous POC coming in right here at about 1325, and then simply put your value area high sitting up here at about 1390. So, I mean, you've already flipped your value area low to support. You've gone up towards the POC. Haven't touched it yet. So I would look potentially to visit the POC. But with your daily red dot that I peeped right here, if we cool off, you may want to come test these lower levels again. So for longs, in my opinion, I will pull this fib for you guys, a daily fib. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pull a few fibs, actually. Let me pull it. Okay. Let's come down to the 4 hour. So yeah, kind of hard to call here. Be honest with you. Bear with me here, guys. Bear with me. Yeah, so I would do this, right? I would look at the value area low of this range as your key level of support and your kind of your compass to kind of insinuate or signify or indicate, as we like to say in the trading world, that you are likely to get a move back to the upside. So if you come back down here, you hold this as support, I would look for a bounce. But until you get below this value area low, I wouldn't really be looking for much lower prices. If you break below here and get a big correction, your next key level I'd be looking at is the full golden pocket retracement coming in at 1038. It's going to be a big level to watch. So there you go. Those are the key levels on AVAX, right? So there you go. And then key level of resist. I mean, really, your theory here is you hold the low, look to break the POC, flip that to support, and get a move up to the high. But it's the daily red dot on top of the 1 hour red dot, money flow coming out. Your 16-hour red dot confirmed. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if you kind of consolidate around here or dip back down to the value area low before getting another move up to the POC and potentially the value area high. Again, coming in at 1390, the value area high, that is. So there you go. That's what we're looking at on AVAX. And let's see. Yeah, can you do seller? We could do seller. Yeah, no problem. Jumping in. We're just pulling these random. I'm just like looking at chat. First one I see, boom, we're looking at it. Because we're only going to look at a couple of them here today, guys, because I do have some stuff I have to take care of. But there you go. Taking a look at your 2 hour and your 1 hour. Nothing really to take away. Taking a look at the daily. Red dot confirmed. So I will definitely, whoops. Bear with me here. That's not what I wanted to do. That is not what I wanted to do. Shout out to Fetch AI. But anyway, let's go ahead. Let's pull these fibs. So what I would actually do here is I would look at this as our key level, or one of our key levels, right? Golden pocket 786 retracement right about hither. There you go. If you don't hold that, I would be cautious of breaking down back into our old range. Which I don't necessarily know. I'm not saying I think that will happen, but this is going to be another key level. Your value area high, right? Previous value area high. This is going to be another key level. So if you lose this golden pocket, I would be cautious of coming back down to this previous value area high. And if you pull your fib all the way down from the low all the way to your high, you could see that golden pocket is in perfect confluence with your value area high of the previous range, right? So two key levels on seller going to be right here. So right here between about 0.014 and 0.013, and then right here between 0.012 and 0.01234 and 0.01204. So there you go. That's what I would be looking at on seller. Daily red dot confirmed. 2-day red dot looking to print. But again, guys, I will say this till I'm blue in the face. The money flow on a lot of these altcoins, as well as Bitcoin on the higher time frames, is still bullish. If we get pullbacks here, I am looking for higher lows to come in before turning around and continuing back to the upside. Shout out to Dave Digital. Said, take care of your stuff on your own time. Hashtag Mafia time. Shout out to Dave Digital. I love it, bro. Dave doesn't let nothing get by him. Shout out to Dave Digital. And shout out to Creighton C, bro. Thank you for the super chat. He says, hey, remember that time you said you were leaving early? You're the best, bro. Yo, shout out to Creighton C. Yeah, it is really, really, really hard for me to leave early, guys. Like, I'd never want to leave early because it's like, honestly, this is what it comes down to. Here's the thing. Like, I'll take a look at one more altcoin. Just one more. And now I see ADA. The problem is I want to look at these charts too. But really, guys, the problem is I genuinely feel so lucky to have you guys watching, right? And doing this with me, right? And I genuinely feel lucky for that, which makes it so hard for me to, like, just leave. Like, I don't want to leave because I appreciate you guys showing up for me. And that's really what it is. It's like, I don't take that for granted. Like, I feel like the luckiest person in the world, genuinely, to be able to do this and have you guys consistently show up for me. So I hate ending early. And then I think the other half is I just get lost in the charts because I love doing this. So, but shout out to you guys. So an extra hour, Dave Digital, don't tempt me with a good time, bro. Ada rejected off that golden pocket you pulled last Friday for a fast 10% move before a little bounce. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. Just using that info to his advantage. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. I appreciate you, bro. But all right, let's take a quick look at ARB. I see people spamming ARB. Oh no. Shout out to Tony D. Said, cut stream. Don't forget I have a kill switch. He does have a kill switch, guys. He could cut me off the air. If I ever go rogue, Tony can shut me down remotely if he has to. But yeah, and shout out to Creighton C. He said, we lucky to have you, buddy. Don't ever forget that. Hashtag Mafia Love. And shout out to Crypto Billy. He says, Dave said the black dog has no spots. Said you would know. The black dog has no spots. It's one of his broken riddles, isn't it? Thank you, Crypto Billy. I know exactly what he's talking about. Hey, Dave. This is for you, bro. All right, guys, let's continue the show. Crypto Billy, thank you for that important information. Thank you for the super chat. Creighton, I appreciate you, bro. Hashtag Mafia for life. But let's take a look at Arbitrum, guys. Let's see. Oh, we had some low volume gaps marked out here. Question is, did they play out? I don't know. I don't know if they did. I guess they did. Yeah, I guess they did. Shot up through here. I don't remember. I'm not going to pretend like I remember when we put these on here. So I'm not going to pretend that we were expecting something that I can't certainly guarantee that we were for sure looking at. But what I can do is analyze the current price for you guys. And what is nice here is we do have some consolidation, and you guys know what that means. That means that we can simply pull a range. So this is the range that I would be looking at. We did come up towards this value area high. Let's see, 1 hour red dot looking to print. Your 4 hour VWAP is rolling over. Taking a look at your 12 and 16 hour VWAPs rolling up. 10 hour green dot printing. Similar to Ethereum, daily VWAP curving up, and your money flow just yeeting right to the upside on Arbitrum. Interesting. This actually looks a little different than everything else, which is nice. You've basically flown through this low volume gap, which I would have to assume is a low volume gap. I'm actually assuming there. Yeah, it was somewhat of a low volume gap right here. You kind of had two gaps, one here and one here, but you know, nonetheless, it is there. But taking a look at our local range, what I would kind of watch here, guys, is okay, yeah, you probably want to hold this value area low, if I'm being honest, right? So this is the key level, and if I could find a golden pocket in Confluence or just below, yeah. So this is your key level. Golden Pocket 786 Confluence, right about here. This is going to be, these are your key levels, right? So if you deviate from this range again, if you break that 786, and honestly the Golden Pocket in general, you know, if I actually get rid of all this and bring back the VPVR, let me go into the settings and turn off our value area high, value area low POC. Boom, boom, boom. And let's go back and pull that same fib. Boom. Come on. Come on. Boom. All right. And you can see here. Yeah. Come on. There we go. So, yeah. I would, you want to hold, if you don't hold that 786, probably going to be likely to potentially see that dollar mark and potentially even the 98-cent mark if you lose that 786. So these are definitely going to be key levels. I would watch that golden pocket. I would also watch the 786, which again, I will label it for you guys. And yeah, I mean, here we are again on a 2-hour stream, guys. It's like, I'm never going to get anything done in my personal life, I swear. But hey, I'll have it like this any day. I will have it like this any day. But anyway, looking for a potential cool-off here, guys. I mean, to be honest, this is looking a little bit different than everything else, right? Because you have the 10-hour green dot like on Ethereum. Their 12 and 16-hour VWAPs are rolling up, which could indicate another pop to the upside. And then your daily VWAP is also rolling over, where on everything else or most other things, this is printing a red dot. Oh, yeah, guys, smash the like button. We got to, smash the like button quickly today because we are going to get out of here early. So smash that like button, 550 likes. I don't know. I'll send you I don't know. I'll send you my secret notebook. 550 likes, I send my secret notebook to somebody. I'm kidding. I will not send this to anybody. Darren says Frankie is captive to sauce making and giving. Shout out to Darren. Yeah. Pretty true, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I will be clear about that. But anyway, shout out to Darren does things. But again, guys, what I would look for here is continued consolidation. I would look to respect the range. If you break out of your range high, simply put, going to be a potential area where I would be expecting a rejection, right? But other than that, I would look to potentially respect this range. If you break out of your range, I would watch this 786, right? I'm not marking out the golden pocket because if you break out of the range, you're probably breaking out of that golden pocket as well. So what I would actually watch here is a 786 test and then a potential swing failure of this wick up here, right? Let me pull up high. Here we go, guys. We're doing a 2-hour stream, I guess. But let me pull up high block real quick. And let me see, do they have, what is this, Arbitrum? They don't, dang it. Okay, well, I was going to see if we could spot any hot spots in liquidity up here, but we can't. So I would look for a potential swing failure of this level right here, coming in at $1.14, 1.1444. So if we break out, again, one more time, if we break out and we get above this blue box, I would look for a move and a potential move into the 786 and then a wick above that level, and if we close that level, if we close that candle below this SFP, I would look for a potential rejection back to the downside if we wind up getting that. So those are the key levels and kind of what I would expect. But as far as the indicators, I would expect I would lean neutral, bullish, slightly in the short term. So there you go. All right, let's see. Let's see. Is BAL a good project to hold? I am not familiar with it, so I couldn't tell you. Shout out to Death Burka. Bro, dude, you just read my mind, bro. Death Burka says, is the CoinGlass heat map the same as High Block? I don't know if it's the same, as in the same exact calculations go into it, because what I want you guys to understand about these heat maps, this will be the last thing I talk about before we go. These heat maps, if you don't know what they are, these simply show you where people are likely to get liquidated, right? So you could see down here this hot yellow bar. I just mean bright yellow. I'm not hitting on the yellow bar, guys, just so you know. Sometimes you got to clear stuff up on the internet. I don't know. You could take stuff out of context pretty easily on the internet. I don't want people to think I'm hitting on the charts here. But you can see this hot yellow block right here. This is letting you know that there is, the brighter yellow it is, the more liquidations are likely to occur at that price. Now, how do you use this? Now, maybe I'll make a tutorial about this for the Sunday Sauce video this week, but, basically how you would use this, you could use it in many different ways. Number one, you can use it as an entry or an exit, right? Maybe because you could use it as kind of like support and resistance levels, but, similar to high volume nodes, these liquidation levels can actually act as a magnet. Remember what we talk about, what we say when we talk about liquidity, right? Liquidity is money in the market. And oftentimes, and that's what liquidations are basically, right? It's basically just money in the market, which is liquidity. And liquidity is simply put just money, right? And I feel like a lot of people try to gatekeep this information, and they like to I don't know. I see this more on TikTok with Forex traders. I feel like they use the term liquidity it's almost like they learn the word and then they try to use it and to sound smart. Guys, liquidity simply just means money, right? I think that people use this to sound fancy. Liquidity just means money. So when people are oftentimes referring to liquidity on the chart, they are referring to either areas where people will get liquidated or stopped out of their trades. Why is this? It's because this is the sauce, guys. Why is what did I just say? They refer to liquidity on the charts as typically liquidation points or stop losses, right? This is simply money in the market. What do I mean by this? I mean stop losses and liquidations. Why is this money in the market? Because when you get stopped out of a short position, it is a market buy. And when you get stopped out of a long position, it is a market sell, right? So it's basically just buys and sells. And I always tell people to think about it like this. When you're learning about liquidity and what you can think about, hey, shout out to MarFX. Yeah, I'm sure you probably, like, I hate it. I cringe every single time. And you know why? It's because it's wrong. It's like, just teach people, bro. Like, there's enough out there for everybody. You don't have to be greedy and try to, like, make people think you're fancier than you are, right? Like, I don't know. It irks me when people try to do that. I'm not against people charging for stuff or having a course. I actually believe in that very highly. I've made a lot of money from things I've learned in courses, right? But like, don't gatekeep the terms, right? Liquidity. Oh, you guys got to, if you don't know anything, if you don't know what liquidity is, you don't know how to trade. Number one, that's not true. Number two, stop acting like liquidity is this hard thing to understand. Anyway, if you want to know what a liquidity is, I'm going to explain it to you right now. I always compare it to guys in New York selling ice cream on the beach with their styrofoam coolers with the dry ice in it, right? I'm a big jack. Woo, baby! I just almost said a bad word. I gotta forget. I forget I'm not in New York sometimes. But anyway, I'm a big tan jacked Italian guy. I'm pulling my styrofoam cooler on the beach, and basically the point is, guys, I want to sell ice cream, right? So where am I gonna go? I am the ice cream, and I want to sell the ice cream. Where am I going to go? Am I gonna go walk around an empty beach, or am I going to walk on the beach until I find a crowded area on the beach? Probably going to be walking until you find that crowded area on the beach, right? The area where all those people are sitting and laying out and sweating is going to act as a magnet for people selling ice cream, right? Because those people that are hot laying on the beach, that's the liquidity. That's the money. Those are the people that have the money in their pocket to exchange for the ice cream. The people with the money in their pocket are liquidity. So the ice cream seller has to go gravitate towards those people so they can exchange their ice cream for money. This is how the market works. When you have a lot of stop losses or liquidation levels sitting at a specific area, price likes to go to that area to fill orders, right? To do business. This is what liquidity is, and that is why it acts as a magnet. I don't know why people try to hide that, right? So there you go. That's how I like to look at it, how I try to explain it. So hit me with a hashtag value if that made sense to you. Throw a sauce jar in there if that made sense to you. I want some ice cream now. Me too. Shout out to Redman. Actually crushed an entire quart of Talenti the other day, and it didn't end good for me. It ripped apart my stomach. But yeah, there you guys go. Like that's how I think of liquidity. So basically, you can look at these. This is how you can use these liquidation heat maps. You know that there's a lot of liquidation levels in here, aka money in the market, and this price is the guy selling ice cream, right? So he's not going to be selling ice cream up here where there's no interest. He's got to go down where the liquidity is, right? Where the money. And that's why a lot of times these levels act as magnets. Now, it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to go to this hot yellow block because there's a lot of liquidations down there. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to move down there, but oftentimes you will visit these levels, right? They're high interest areas. So that's how I use the heat maps. But there you go, a little bit of heat map sauce. But other than that, guys, I will point this out. Let's pull up the 1 year heat map, right? Maybe even the 2 year heat map. I do want to point out here. Let's pull up the 2 year heat map. I wish this went higher, but yeah. Oh, shout out to Crypto Billy. Oh my God. Hey Billy, just a random. Shout out to you, bro. A dang $50 super chat. Come on, Billy. Shout out to Billy. He's right. Did I miscast? You did miscast, Billy, because I didn't do it. I completely forgot, but I'll take a look at it right now. And by the way, Billy, I'm just curious. If you did have a Venmo, would it be under your name? Like if I were to search it, would I be able to find that Venmo? Just let me know. There's no reason. I'm asking for a friend. Thank you so much, Billy. You do not have to send me money, bro. I want to send you back double now. You don't have to send me money, bro. I look at any coin you want for free, Billy. But real quick, before we take a look at CAS, I do want to point out here, guys, look at all this liquidity that was sitting up here above these highs, of these old range highs, right? See this big hot block of yellow? I hate that these boxes are here. I wish I can get rid of them, but I can't. Or I don't know how. But you can see, right? You can see, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually just going to screenshot this really quickly, guys, because here we go, right? So I could just point without So you guys can see we had this hot block of liquidity sitting up here, which is why we were looking for part of the reason why we were looking for price to gravitate all the way up to these levels. But what happened? We filled all this, right? So this is no longer there. So where is most of the liquidity sitting, at least according to this heat map? Mostly it's below us, guys. There's not as you don't see any crazy hot yellow boxes up here, do you? I don't. I see them all down here. Again, it doesn't mean we're guaranteed to visit this level, but if you start looking at this level at about 24K, there are a lot of interesting levels of support down there on the chart as well. So, yeah, most of the liquidity as of right now, looking at this chart, is all the way down here. There's not much more above us. It doesn't mean we can't continue up. Also, this is only analyzing back until November 13th, 2021, right? So we're not taking all information into account here, but it is just very, very interesting. But with that being said, guys, let's check out Cass really, really quickly for Billy. Sorry, I missed that, bro. But, yeah, look at this thing go. Look at this thing go. Cass, oh my God, it's at 7 cents. You believe this? Oh my God. My Caspa bag is pumping, baby. Let's go. I have not even looked at my Caspa bag in so long. It's probably mad up right now. But anyway, yeah, this thing is ripping right now. So this is kind of hard, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull some fib levels here for you. And I will try. Obviously, we are in price discovery here, so it is going to be very, very, very hard. I mean, hey. We were calling for this yesterday. Potentially around the 8 to 9 cent level could be on the table, right? And I want to show you guys. Look, again, these are the fib levels I was talking about have been untouched, right? These fib levels are untouched, right? And the fact that we are in price discovery, you have to think to yourself, how are we going to find resistance if we can't look left and find where price has rejected in the past, which obviously we can't do right now because Cass has never been up this high. So what do? We pull these special fib levels, which maybe I'll make a video on. But you can see here, these are basically imaginary levels, right? But look, ooh, spooky, right? They actually get interacted with, right? Why? Because we're not the only dang traders looking at these fib levels. That's why, right? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Other people are using this technique to find these levels, and they try to take profits or short at these key levels. And as far as the levels I have on my fib, the next real key level would be up here at about 0.08537, about, give or take a couple of decimals there. 0.08526 right here. Bada boom. So that would be the next key level I would be looking at. Billy, that is, oh my God, this thing's just going up in a straight line. Look at this thing go. Pump it, baby, pump it. But yeah, that is the next target I would be looking at. And if we do wind up pulling back, let's say we start pulling back from here, key levels of support for me, probably going to be this golden pocket 786 zone right here between 0.06084 and 0.05531. So there you go. That's what I would be looking at on Caspa. Now, according to the indicators, right, like not going to be impossible to cool off from here, right? And why is that? It's because why is that? That's because it doesn't mean that we're not guaranteed to get to this level just because it's on the fib, right? We could reject here, and if we do have this red dot looking to print on the daily as we are extremely overbought. So this is likely going to cool off at some point. The question is it going to happen here, or are we going to shoot up for that next fib level, which is just about 7% away, right? So are we going to shoot up to this level then correct, or are we going to correct from here? Well, we do have some bearish divergences on the 1 hour forming, right? Money flow generally trending to the downside. 4 hour bearish divergence, not as close to printing as the 1 hour, but this could be a signal to potentially get a pullback as well, as you have your higher highs on your price and your lower highs on your momentum waves. So there are some signs of slowing down here. It looks like we could be losing steam. But I would be careful of an extra little shot up to that 0.08526 level. And shout out to Crypto Billy. Please never send me money again to look at a coin. Like I said on one of the other streams recently, Billy, if you called me at 3 in the morning and woke me up in the middle of the night and said, Frankie, I'm in a trade. I really need you to go to your computer right now and tell me what you think about Pepe, I would literally jump out of bed and sprint to my computer to do everything possible to help you at zero cost to you, my friend. So shout out to Billy. You know I love you, brother. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. How many likes did we get? We got 4. I see a 4 in there. That's not that bad. 405, just slightly under what we did yesterday, but we did go a little bit shorter today. But what I'm going to do here, guys, I do want to jump out of here. We did spend a little more time on the alts than I expected. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those 4 spins, and we're going to add them to tomorrow's live stream. I'm going to spin the wheel tomorrow. Let's just go ahead and if we get 550 likes by the time the stream ends, not the time the waiting room goes back up or the thumbnail or whatever we call that thing, but by the time the stream ends, if we hit 550, I'll spin the wheel 20 times tomorrow. But if not, we'll add those 4 spins. Oh my God, we already got 417. I got to end this quick. But if we just have 4, we'll spin it. We'll add those 4 spins to tomorrow night's wheel spin. And with all that being said, guys, thank you all for hanging out with us on tonight's live stream. Hopefully you guys learned something. Let me just double check on Bitcoin, see if we're still ripping or not. Okay, so not still. I mean, still looks like it might push, but not continuing to rip like it was before. And shout out to Golden. Let's go. You're an absolute goat, bro. Just gifting another 50 Frankie Candles membership, bro. You're an absolute legend. Everybody spam those golden emojis, bro. What an absolute savage. Let's go. Shout out to Golden, guys. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Show some love for everybody who super chatted and gifted those memberships. Drop those golden emojis. That's all the time I got for tonight, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. I love each and every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm not just saying that. I actually mean it. That's all I got. See you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the product in store I'm playing. I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse, yeah. You just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you not gonna shoot. I'm watching you do the cam base where I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth, yeah. They be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching pulls every stance like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off, yeah. It's a matter of time. I know you see me standing in the front, back of the line. I happen to grind every minute, passing the time. We ain't never been friends. How you acting like mine? Y'all need contentment. Y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions that make me question how you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to stew a blessing. You can't do it. You don't want a dream chase. You don't put your hands to it. You know the circle strong. 4th and 40 got a pun. No, I don't do what I want. I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing. I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the juggler, mate. The one to debate. But you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid. Yeah, I've been working on a gift. I ain't doing free shows. You can call me here again. You can call me what you want. It's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I am worth. Woo.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
Shout out to Apples Up North. Apples Up North makes a good point, guys, and this is the only point of this Frankie fake out. I just got to tell you guys this. Apples Up North says the ice cream guy is headed towards the chicks in the bikinis who are also hanging out with Bitcoin near 48K. So it looks like Bitcoin, who's the guy with the ice cream, may be headed up towards those chicks with the bikinis, which is 48K. Oh, no. Siri is trying to search girls on bikinis. Siri, leave me alone. Don't try to get me canceled on YouTube. Oh, my God. You guys hear her going after me like that? But, guys, it's official. Liquidity is girls in bikinis, and that's what we're going to refer to it from now on. I'm killing the word liquidity because people, I think, use it as a word to kind of like pull the sheet over people's eyes and make them think that they're fancy. It's not liquidity, guys. They're simply just chicks in bikinis. But that's all the time I got for today's video. Siri, look that back up. I gotta go do some stuff with Siri. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow night, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here we are at almost a 2-hour stream. I love each and every single one of you guys. Hasta pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the